what's going on? It's your boy BB Bandit. I haven't done anything in a bit, and I'm not fucking sorry for it. So, your problem with it? Leave. So, I'm gonna talk about a time a fishing trip kind of turned into something different. This was about maybe like 6 months ago now. I was chilling with my cousin, Roderick. The place we were gonna go fishing was like an hour and a half away, and my grandparents lived like a little closer than that, but they still lived up there. And so did his grandmother live up there. So we got in the car, and, I was under the impression this dude fished before, but I was wrong. So we drive up to my place, and he drops me down. He's speeding the whole way up, whatever. He's a terrible driver, by the way, terrifying to drive with, but I think that's a part of the thrill. So he asked me if I want to go up his grandmother's once we get there. Nothing really happened on the drive, so I was like, you know what, you go visit your grandma so we can go fishing, because it was around like 3:30 maybe. So I walked down to my place after he went to his grandmother's, and I grabbed like my fishing pole and I said a quick hello to like my grandparents, and I walked back up to his grandmother's, and I was like, all right, it's time to go. And she was paranoid as hell, so she was trying to talk us out of going because I guess it's dangerous to go fishing. So we meet up with an uncle of mine. Okay, the video just cut out, so whatever. I'm going to try that again. So we met up with an uncle of mine. Not an uncle of his, but an uncle of mine. And I caught a few bass, but he thought we were fly fishing with a reel because he didn't know how to fish. His grandmother doesn't believe me because he's been fishing, but who knows? That kid ceases to amaze me every single day. The video just paused again for no reason. I hope it doesn't do that the whole fucking time. Maybe it's because I have my phone on top of the monitor. Not the monitor, the actual computer. So we're chilling, we go fishing, we catch some shit, we stop at the liquor store, we grab some stuff to drink, because he's 19, so whatever. He was really pissed off that he got carded, because he looks about 12. So we drive back, and we make it back to our place, it's fine. It's about 9 o'clock at night then, and his grandmother was really, really pissed off that we were back that late. And, nothing was wrong, because we were having a good time. But we decided we were going to go fishing the next day. But we were kind of deciding if we were gonna go fishing, if we were gonna go home, because we didn't think much of it, We didn't think much of going fishing the next day, because maybe we'll just go home. We already had our luck. So I go up and see his grandmother, and we're having a conversation because she's my aunt or whatever. So I talk to her for maybe about an hour, and then my other cousin Mitchell walks in. He's like not my cousin, but he's by marriage, somebody, whatever. Like, by marriages, daughters, whatever, it doesn't matter. I have no fucking idea what he is. But Mitchell comes in, and Mitchell's in the military. So he starts talking about his whatever he does. And we were talking about, how he had to deal with, cleaning up a hurricane, because a big hurricane happened at the time. So he was cleaning stuff up with the military. And I'm not really sure if this is picking up, but I'm going to keep trying anyways, whatever. I'll edit it and find out. So we leave, and, because he wants to go visit one of my uncles that my grandfather doesn't talk to. So I didn't know if I was going to go up there or not. But he eventually talked me into going. And I was just planning on it being a normal night. Whatever, but that never really happens. This wouldn't be a story if it was a normal night. So, yeah, who cares? I got that bandit cred. It's the only reason why I got some video ideas in the chamber. So I go up to my uncle's house. He has dementia. So he was trying to sell me his house maybe about 50 times. And his wife was trying to get us all to drink, whatever. I don't know why. Because I was just as freshly turning 16. And Mitchell was 17. And he was getting his license in a few days. And my other cousin Roderick was 19. So he could do whatever he wanted. But his grandmother got mad at him when he drank. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense, because in Canada you're allowed to drink at 19. But I don't have many American people watching anyways. Maybe I do. Maybe I will when I blow up and make it famous with my good upload schedule. Every 6 months. So we make it up there, and I didn't really want to get drunk because my grandparents were up. I had one cooler from the liquor store before, some Cold Stream cooler thing, with my cousin Roderick during the fishing trip. So, I thought, that's enough. I didn't really need anything. But then she gives me a can of beer, and she keeps lifting it up, and she wants me to drink it, so I just drink one. Then her husband would give me another one because he has dementia, and every time I'd say no, he'd just keep giving them. So I left there drinking I think it was 8 beer, and then she gave me some vodka cooler thing, and I drank that. So I was feeling pretty good. I was feeling pretty good. My cousin Roderick, I don't know what he was going on about. And Mitchell was just talking about how he's pumped to get his license, and he's gonna buy a car, and he's gonna move out. Which is good for him because, who doesn't want to move out at 17? Everybody except Roderick. So pretty much we're We're all pretty fucked up. I took the ATV up. I have an ATV four-wheeler, whatever. I took that up, so I'm driving that back, and Mitchell and Roderick take their cars. And, after a couple drinks, you shouldn't drink anyway. Drive, I mean. But, it's not that big of a deal if you're just driving down your driveway. It's just a long lane. So Roderick drives down, and he almost fucks up. So I drop the bike back off, and I start a fire at my place, and I leave it going in a fire pit, and we just go down there, and we chill, we talk. We're just talking about people, and how Mitchell doesn't really like people who are weird, and my cousin Roderick is known to be a little weird, and he does not like that. Not that he's a weirdo, but he's more of a pedo sometimes, if you know what I'm saying. So he was like, yeah, I'll beat the shit out of him if he does anything. I was just telling him, some stories. I'm not going to share them now because there's other bandits. Get those views up, So eventually, me and, Mitchell, you gotta remember, we're, drunk at the same time, and we were vaping and stuff, whatever. So we were just trying to have some fun with him. And I forgot what we were doing, but we were poking some jokes at him. So we got in the car, and we just start playing. He's a military guy. I expected him to be, really uptight a little bit. So this was the first time I really got to know him, loosen up a little bit. So I got in his car, and as soon as his phone connects to, the speaker, it starts playing Taylor Swift, and he's just in the passenger seat, vibing out, which he should. So he got me hooked on, sped up remixes of, old 2012 songs. And normally that's not my thing, but because of him, it kind of is sometimes. Bob my head, whatever. I'm quirky. So we get in the car and we're driving up, and Roderick is behind us. So we blocked him in my driveway because he couldn't have got out because there's field everywhere. So he would have had to take the main, driveway. So we block him, and we would just drive a little slower ahead, and then we'd stop once he came up. And we did it for maybe about 20 minutes, and we're laughing about it. And we're 16, 17, he's 19, so you think, he's probably sitting in his driver's seat going, fucking these idiots. But no, he actually got way more pissy than that. So we actually finally let him drive because we were going in front of his grandma's house. So there's this wharf in front of his grandma's house. You go down the hill, then you can turn around down there. So we go down there, and we're just sitting in his car listening to music, and Roger gets out on the wharf, and he starts screaming for some reason, because I guess that's what he does when he gets drunk or pumped up. I don't fucking know. And we're just sitting in the car kind of laughing at him, and then he pulls out this dispo, and I didn't think he vaped, and I haven't in a while, and he asked me if I did, so I was like, fuck it. I went for it. Me and him hotboxed the car, and then we went back up the driveway before Roderick did, and we were blocking him going up the hill just to piss him off. We were doing it for about 20 minutes. And then he goes inside his grandma's once he makes it up to that part. And we're just sitting outside wondering. He said he's getting a sweater, but, that's never it. Because I got a call the next day, and she thought we were trying to get him to crash in. So I guess her logic was we were trying to get Roderick to smash into Mitchell's car to ruin Roderick's car, and her reasoning behind that is because Mitchell doesn't have his full license and he's jealous of Roderick, which makes no sense. You're not going to ruin your car for something like that. Only an idiot would do that. So we later decide, I'm driving around, we go back down to my place and we park the car. We hang out at the fire a little bit. We're drinking again, just hitting the vape, whatever, doing our thing. Laughing, he's telling me some stories about people in the military, and I'm telling him some stories about my girlfriend and stuff we've done, and my work, and a lot of stuff that I'm not going to bring up because, again, more bandit content. I'm not ruining it for you loyal fans. So we end up deciding, you know what, Mitchell's car was low on gas and he didn't want to fill it, which makes sense. He didn't want to fill it that night just driving up and down the driveway. So he takes it back up to his place, and Roderick drives up with us, and he says, you know what, I'm going to go inside. I'm going to get some weed, whatever. And Roderick doesn't like that. I don't really care. You can do whatever the fuck you want. The only part that, is bad morally is that he's 17. But whatever, I'm 16. Not my job to worry about that shit yet. So we get in the car, and I regret getting in the car with Roderick drinking. So he's playing, his music or whatever. Mitchell's jamming his music, takes over his aux. He's the aux man. He's playing his shit. Roderick's driving, and there's a 4-way stop, okay? So, you stop. You stop at the stop sign. You see if anybody's there, especially if it's pitch black at 12:30 at night, I think it was. Kind of getting on 1 o'clock in the morning. So he blows through this sign, and a car almost T-boned him because of it. And we were screaming at him, but, we were still drunk, so we were, laughing and just jamming out, whatever. We drove down that road because he was supposed to turn right, because we were going to go see the train station or whatever, and he didn't want to. So we turn back after we get there, and we go to the train station, and we Mitchell says, "Oh, let's get into one of the trains." And I never did that before because I grew up there my whole life. I was never one to do that type of stuff, like break into trains, because what's the point? So I end up breaking into this train with him, end up sitting in the conductor seat or whatever, and he's right sketched out. So me and him just start hotboxing this old train. Roderick's sketched out. He's standing there, he's kind of like tripping out. And me and Mitchell were kind of just smoking and laughing and talking, and then we saw lights shine on the train, and the door was shut. So we like left because there was already an ashtray in there from Mitchell because he goes and hangs out there all the time. So we eventually sped home, and he almost crashed the car again. So we were like, you know what, you're a fucking terrible driver. We can't fucking believe how bad you are driving. So we make it back in one piece somehow. I have no idea how, but pretty much. Oh, what we did the next day, we went fishing. He knotted up his rod, didn't catch anything, fucked my rod up. And Mitchell, we were just kind of chilling at the end of it. Then we decided to go on a 2.5 hour drive to go to an Irving Big Stop to get some food from where we were. We could have went to McDonald's, we could have went to something, but we were determined to get Irving food. So we drove up about 2 hours. We made it to the Irving. He was really cheap and wanted us to pay for him, and we weren't gonna. So we went back. And that was the day I decided I am never going to drink with Roderick again. But now I'm having a Super Bowl party, and guess who's coming? Roderick. So if you got I might get another story out of that about how my girlfriend cuts his head off because she really doesn't like him. I'm just gonna I'm gonna have some motivation to edit this video like really quick and get it out. So I'm gonna make my bold Super Bowl prediction right now. Brock Purdy MVP and 49ers Super Bowl. Let's get on. Yeah, this was your boy, BB Bandit. Like, sub, or your testes are gonna fall off, and if you don't have them, you're gonna grow them and they're gonna fall off.